Hi, it's Jessica Drummond with the Integrative Women's Health Institute, and I'm today wrapping up our 4-part video series on integrative female athlete wellness. We've been discussing the 9 lessons that are really essential for building a female athlete practice that serves the girls and women athletes of all ages and at all levels in your community. And that really serves you as well because you're offering an interdisciplinary approach, you're offering a wide lens approach, and you're really meeting the needs of the girls and women in your community, which is the fastest path to gaining confidence in your work and the fastest path to growing your practice and filling your classes. All right, so let's jump right in to video 4. I want to review today the 9 lessons that we discussed in our free video series and that we'll be discussing in much greater depth in the Female Athlete Wellness Program that is available starting now. You'll hear all about that in just a moment. So let's talk about the 9 lessons and review them so that you can better meet the needs of the female athletes in your practice, in your exercise classes, in your fitness classes, and in the community that are not yet athletes, but who really want to be and have some fears around that. So first, the number 1 lesson is to work to understand and support structural alignment. And we call that bending without breaking because there are increased demands on athletes in terms of flexibility, strength, endurance, core stability, and especially for women and girls, these are challenged through the lifespan as they get pregnant, as they sit for long days in front of screens or at work. They are in their cars more often. They're not walking, just walking barefoot around the world as we used to do in our more Paleolithic times, right? So they need some fundamentals of stability and strength from the inside out. And also not forgetting the pelvic floor. So lesson number 2 is while we're thinking in lesson number 1 about full body, structural alignment, some of the postural challenges, movement challenges that female athletes have today that put them at increased risk, we don't want to carve a black box around the pelvis and skip over that body part because some women are embarrassed to talk about it or they don't know if it's safe or it feels uncomfortable or it seems taboo. And we are a resource that can help women who are really struggling with any pelvic health concerns to optimize their health in that area because female athletes, as we talked about in video number 1, are at real risk for significant pelvic health concerns that may stop them from participating in sports and exercise, which is so important to their general overall health, cardiovascular risk, metabolic syndrome risk, obesity risk, that we really want to not have girls and women dropping out of sports because of pelvic health concerns. Lesson 3 is nutrition for young female athletes. Many of our young female athletes are eating enough calories, but not enough nutrients. And we have to get really creative as nutritionists, as physical therapists, as fitness professionals, as coaches and health coaches to really bring nourishment, color, fun, autonomy to our tween and teen girl athletes, especially as they're transitioning through puberty because their physiologic demands on their brain, on their bones, on their endocrine system are so much greater at this time in their life. In lesson 5, I love lesson 5. It's so much fun just connecting the menstrual cycle and how shifting nourishment, shifting nutrition through the menstrual cycle, shifting scaffolding, as we talked about in video 2, can be a performance enhancer, a competitive advantage. I really like to reframe the menstrual cycle. There's no reason to think of it as the curse anymore, now that we understand so much more about it. Our next lesson, we'll be digging deep. We didn't talk about this in the free video series, but in our program, we'll be talking about the female athlete triad. Julie and Michelle, my co-professors on this course, both take a deep, evidence-based, cutting-edge approach to this really quite dangerous problem in our young and older female athletes through the lifespan. Our next lesson, lesson number 6, we'll be discussing herbal medicine for athletic women, and in combination with food as medicine, which is lesson 7, we'll be talking about how food and herbs as medicine can provide so much that some of our other medical tools maybe do provide, but they come with such risks and side effects that using healthy food and using backyard peasant herbalism is so much safer and often just as effective, even in randomized controlled data. In lesson 8, we discuss mindset, and I really think it's important as clinicians to first shift our mindset. Number 1, there are athletic and active women and girls out there who need you. You need to talk about the things that sometimes other professionals won't, some of the most embarrassing things, but to do that and some of the most complicated things, and to do that best for you so that you don't feel overwhelmed or stressed, is to do it in the context of having a multidisciplinary, having an experienced professional community around you who wants to support you, who wants to see you succeed, who is there for your complex questions and also is there to give you ideas. We don't want any professionals in our program at the Integrative Women's Health Institute to feel like they're burning out, to feel not confident in their skills. We want them to have the research, have the education, and also have that deep, caring support. I'm always there doing that inside our private Facebook group essentially every day, as are my collaborating professors and our entire student body, who I just really appreciate so much. And then as we're transitioning that mindset, so we have support as clinicians, as professionals, we want our clients and patients to have that support. We don't want them to just see themselves as, if I did well, I'm valuable. If I won that medal, if I placed first place, if my team won, I'm valuable. If I had a terrible day in competition or that practice didn't go as planned, I am not valuable. Or if I've gained a little weight, or I'm not eating well this week, or I have some mood swings for my cycle, I'm not valuable. I'm any less valuable. We need to really support the emotional needs of our female athlete clients so that they can have long, enjoyable, supported careers. We want women exercising well into their 80s and 90s and enjoying it. We want them to start young and have a long, supported, happy career. And finally, lesson 9, expand your reach. This is really important to me, and we discussed this in video 3. Many of the women that I come in contact with, many of my colleagues and peers, are brilliant. They have so much wisdom. They have so much knowledge. They have so many letters after their name. They've got multiple degrees. They've been in clinical practice for decades or years. And they're not serving as many people as they would like to be because they just don't put any priority or any learning of that deep learning focus on business building strategies to really reach the women and girls in their communities. So we've talked about that in this series. I don't want your skills to be hidden. I want all the world to see your skills. And by collaborating with each other, by giving and receiving referrals, by going out there and speaking about some of these more uncomfortable topics to the women and girls who really want to hear them in your community, these are steps to business building. Marketing is a tool that anyone with this level of skill in working with female athletes that you have already and will gain even more in this program needs to get out and share it. All right, so we've talked about this some. I'm going to add to this today in video 4 here. So are you fully serving the female athlete clients that are already a part of your practice? Here's simple business building number 1, right? You've already got a practice. You've already got some group classes going. You've already working one-on-one with some clients. Are you addressing their pelvic health needs, either with your information and education or referrals? Or both? Are you working on their stress? We'll talk a lot about in this program how female athletes have quite a bit of physiologic stress because they're training so aggressively, which is, great. That's part of the preparation. But compounded with emotional stress can really put them at risk for health concerns. They have burnout risk, overtraining, adrenal fatigue, emotional stressors. Many of them have no connection with their menstrual cycle and how their moods will naturally shift. So they get really thrown off by that. You have a great opportunity to educate and reduce stress with many, many tools. Nutrition. I think there needs to be more wisdom about nutrition in essentially every kind of clinical practice. Those of you who are practicing nutritionists have a lot of skill in this area, but can always use more detail. I always ask myself the question, not do I already know this, or how well do I know this? Right? If you're already working with female athletes, what could you learn? Have you read the latest papers? Could you get a different person's perspective? Maybe you've never heard me teach on this topic before. You might learn something new. And if you're not already integrating nutrition into your practice, I quite frankly, I realize there are variable scopes of practice into how much nutrition you can integrate into your practice. But to the extent that is within your scope of practice, and I believe it is, and to some extent, essentially every healthcare professional's scope of practice, it is irresponsible to not be using nutrition when our number one issues in the Western world are chronic disease. We've got to either push the envelopes of our scope of practice, change them if necessary, and certainly use the degree of nutrition scope of practice that we do have. Otherwise, we're quite frankly being irresponsible. And we need to work together. Interdisciplinary collaboration, giving and receiving referrals, which is very easy to do within our student community. And again, you're serving these women and girls already. How can you bring in their families, their teams, give educational classes, do cooking classes, help with the implementation piece? Anyone can pick up, a magazine or read on the internet, like things they're supposed to do to be healthier, right? You could probably sit down and write a list of things you are supposed to be doing right now to be healthier. The trick is the implementation. That's where coaches come in so handy. Health coaches are essential and brilliant at implementation skills, as are many of the other professions. So if you are not sharing your brownies, as one of my mentors, Fabienne Fredrickson, always says, if you are not sharing all of your brownies, in this case, with the clients that are currently in your practice, here is your number one opportunity to serve better. And if there are women in your community who don't know that you make the best brownies, you have the most wisdom about female athletic concerns from a holistic perspective, they need to know. Or you're just not sharing your brownies, and you need to get doing that. So how can you better share your brownies? I love that analogy from Fabienne because, if you make the absolute best brownies, and I'm saying this, tongue in cheek, that your brownies are probably gluten-free, dairy-free, nutrient dense, maybe they're raw. That's awesome. That's how mine are. But if you're not sharing them, spreading your wisdom, you have spent all this money and all this time, gaining the ability to make brilliant brownies, and you're not sharing them with the female athletes who need you. What a waste, right? They're just going to rot in the kitchen. Anyway, when you know more, as this course will provide for you, you can offer more to meet more of the needs of your current clients. And I really suggest that every clinician always be improving, growing your skills. Again, not asking, do I already know this? But how well do I know this? What can I improve? And I like to surround myself with people who are constantly pushing the envelope and improving, learning more, sharing more, creating the next thing, because this is how we grow. And our community is so like that. There's always more to learn. And part of this work, part of helping others requires bravery on our part. It requires vulnerability. It requires talking about, embarrassing or taboo topics. It requires, showing people what they might be doing wrong, which is a very vulnerable, scary thing sometimes. And we want to be gentle about it. And we need our own level of bravery, which is so much easier when you're doing it within a community that is really supportive of you. The risk, quite honestly, of not sharing your brownies, not spreading the wisdom that you have to support this amazing population of athletic women and girls who really can lead the way. Exercise is a key component against chronic disease, which is a huge problem in our country. So how do we share that wisdom? And what is it's all of these things that I've just said. And the risk is when we don't learn, when we don't expand our offerings, when we don't talk about things and help people to grow along with us, that the risk is the eventual death of your practice. It's that simple. So your mindset shift responsibility is shifting from, oh, I already know this, I'm going to go start surfing Facebook, right? To how well am I doing this? Lead your athletes by example. Do you have performance goals for yourself, for your work? Network and absorb creativity from your Integrative Women's Health Institute peers. Gain confidence because you know that we have your back if complex questions come up, and we do. We talk about complex questions all the time. Find the gaps. Whose needs in your community, online or live, are not being met? Puberty issues for tween athletes, new mom athletes with pelvic floor challenges, menopausal athletes with bone and heart health challenges. Giving your wisdom is the key to a busy practice. Grow trust from your community by giving away your brownies, giving samples of your brownies all around town, those gluten-free, raw, delicious brownies. Be specific. Having a niche approach is the fastest path to growth. And this is a great topic for narrowing your niche around. Even if you're already working with pregnant women, are you working with pregnant women who are athletic? Even if you're already working with tween girls, are you meeting the sports teams and the coaches and the pediatricians? That is the trick. So join us. I hope you will join the Female Athlete Wellness Program. Julie, Michelle, and I are so looking forward to meeting you. We know you have questions, so let me address a few of those right now. First of all, how long is the course? Well, it's 9 weeks long, and it's automatically delivered as soon as you register. How much time will I need to complete it? So you can expect to spend about 2 to 3 hours per week on the course. We've specifically designed it to meet the needs of busy professionals and for you to have the chance to practice what you learn each week, plus have plenty of times for questions and discussion in our private Facebook group. So you may keep up with the material and do everything, 1 week at a time as it's delivered, or you can go at your own pace. It's absolutely up to you. And what exactly are the modules in the program? In Module 1, we'll be discussing the young female athlete led by Dr. Julie Granger. In Module 2, we'll be looking deep into female pelvic floor health, specifically for female athletes with Michelle Lyons. Then I will be teaching Modules 3 and 4 on optimal nutrition for the young female athlete and for performance enhancement through the lifespan. I just can't get enough of both of those topics. There's lots to talk about there. Module 5 and 6 focus on the female athlete triad, again with Julie and Michelle. Module 7, herbal medicine to reduce inflammation and promote injury recovery. Michelle will be teaching that module. Module 8 is nutrition for athletic injury recovery. Again, food as medicine. And Module 9, mindset for athletic injury prevention and recovery through the lifespan so women can have long, enjoyable movement careers. And Julie Granger teaches that. What's included in each module? Well, each module includes a recorded webinar similar to this, a PDF of the slides, and additional handouts for some modules. The content will be delivered to you each week. And again, don't be overwhelmed. If you are, we're here to support you. Each module contains evidence-based, clinically relevant information that is applicable to your physical therapy, nutrition, health coaching, fitness, nursing, medical, or bodywork practice right away. So what are the bonuses if you take action now? And we have some great bonuses right now. Bonus number 1 is 24/7 access to the leading edge global multidisciplinary women's health professionals that hang out in our private Facebook community. All of our students are invited to the Integrative Women's Health Institute private Facebook group. So the group is dynamic, it's supportive, it's on all the time because we have students in 25 countries across essentially every time zone. So having this community will give you confidence and peace of mind when you're doing this work that's both rewarding and challenging. So we have your back for any complex questions, and it's a good place to get ideas for practice growth. It's really a wonderfully supportive environment. So you'll have access to that with the purchase of this program. If you take action right now, we are also including bonuses that basically this bonus number 2 is that Julie, Michelle, and I will regularly be inside of our private Facebook group. So if you have very specific questions for each of us on any of the modules that we specifically teach, and even if it's weeks later, if you don't start the course for a while after you buy it, or you're doing it at your own pace and you take a few weeks off and start later, we're there to answer your questions. You can take the professor home with you in a sense, which is extremely rare. Normally at a conference, you're with someone for a couple of hours or a day or two, and then you're on your own. So I think that's a really valuable opportunity. So use it. And you get 4 bonus guest interviews. I love all of these. So Dr. Joe Tata is a dear friend of mine, and he has a really cutting edge approach for integrating physical therapy practice and nutrition practice. We're going to talk all about that. Dr. Laura Ritchie is one of our faculty, and she has a really impressive approach to preparing for and recovering from surgery. And some female athlete injuries are severe enough to require surgery. So Laura gives us some excellent tools for that. And also very practical because Laura herself has been through more than 6 surgeries, and she's very young. She's just 30 now. So we'll get a lot of insight from her. She's lived a lot in her 30 years. Dr. Nicole Perkins is a neuropsychologist, and she's got some really cutting-edge information that she shared with me in our interview on concussions in young female athletes. It's not just about, tween and teen football players, but, girls are having concussions as well, and this is really important to recover those young brains. And Julie Wiebe, Julie Granger interviews her. Julie Wiebe is one of the most sought after female athlete physical therapist lecturers in the sense that she combines women's health with orthopedics. And she gives her insights on doing that in her wonderful interview with Julie Granger. So those are excellent bonuses. And then bonus number 4 is one of the things that is most popular. When you register for this course right now, you'll get a significant discount on the regular price of $997. It's now being offered for just $497. So that's $500 off. That's a pretty good deal. Or you can choose a payment plan, 3 payments of just $197 each. And we really do like to reward decisive action. We want you to take action, decide you're going to purchase this course, jump in, learn this information, be a part of our Facebook group, and do it now. And the reason I encourage this is because I've had my own practice, and I've built this training institute over the last 6 years. And I know that being in practice, having a successful business requires that you take decisive action. I also know, as a clinician who's been practicing for more than 15 years, that being a clinician that is very skilled takes thoughtful action, but sometimes it takes confident, decisive action to be its most effective. And I want to encourage those characteristics in you. And also I just want you to get started. There are so many women and girls who are looking for your services. We want you to learn, want you to grow, and want you to right away, as soon as you get this knowledge under your belt, start serving the female athletes in your community. Stop hiding your brownies. And I do have one more special bonus that we've just decided to offer. For the next 15 people who register for the program, I will be giving you a complimentary one-on-one mentorship call. And that's a 30-minute call with me. And I usually only offer these to my students. So we'll offer a 30-minute one-on-one mentorship call with me. I'm the founder, as you know, and CEO of the Integrative Women's Health Institute, and we can discuss anything you need mentorship with on this call, your practice, your business goals, any complex case studies that you're currently struggling with, even your own health goals. It's your call, and I'm here to coach you. I've got 6 years of coaching experience under my belt and more than 15 years of mentorship experience. And I'm here to help you create a plan, not just listen, but to create a plan to meet your vision of what the combination of vibrant health, a thriving practice, and meeting the needs of your most challenging clients would feel like and look like to you. I believe each of us has individual visions and individual goals, and I will do what I can to help you meet those. So that call is available just for the next 15 people who register for the program, as my schedule, that's all it will allow. All right, so I appreciate you being here for video number 4. I hope you gained a lot of wisdom on lessons number 8 and 9 in this video, and that you are ready to jump in, take action, join Dr. Julie Granger, Michelle Lyons, and myself on this journey to learn unique skills, unique information for better serving the girls and women in your communities and the ones that are already in your practice, and expanding your practice with the support, care, knowledge of a global multidisciplinary group that is inside of our private student Facebook group. So I look forward to meeting you there, getting to know you better, and we'll see you in the course. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.